All right, here's our project. We got two of these. We're going to be putting two of these shorter panels on top of this car. So the front one will be permanent. Hopefully the back one will kind of just drop into the same spots that the stake bed sides drop into down here. And then it will bolt, they will bolt to each other, and it will fasten the panel a little tighter so they stay in place. That way the back one's removable if need be, so you can use the bed for taller stuff if you really need to, but for the most part I would imagine they're both going to be left on there to charge all of the time. So we're going to be getting 600 and about 640 watts of charging on top of this car. All right, here's version number 1. I just put the one panel up on back. I ran out of metal to do the front bracing, so eventually I think I'll seam the panels here, and they'll this will be about the middle of the cart right there, so they'll seam there, and that one will bridge behind it a little bit, and then that'll be the middle, so I'll be able to get two on here, and then the front one will come down over the front, and the back one will go over the front. But for now, this is what we got. Just got it mounted on there so we can drive it around. Didn't even have it hooked in yet. I ordered the charge controller. I think I'm just gonna go with a charge controller instead of modifying this battery, because it has solenoids that are 36 volt, and I would have to replace those, so it just is cheaper to buy a charge controller. So, all right, we got some with a charge controller we're gonna try on our golf cart with the 2 SunPower panels. And so I wanted to be able to set the battery voltage so that I'm not limited on what type of battery I end up putting in there. So that's why we got this charge controller, because supposedly you can do that. So we'll see how well this works out. All right, so we got our solar hooked in, just kind of temporarily right now to hooked up to our charge controller. It's not blinking in real life, it just looks like it's blinking on video because of the refresh rate of the screen in my camera. So not sure why there's a fan running. I am using and charging at 0 watts, so it's kind of odd, but regardless, we're going to put it in and see how well it works. You can see our solar panel voltage, and we don't have our battery hooked up, so maybe I will set this first before we hook up the battery. Amps, watts. Okay, so this must be battery. I'm setting the battery. I need to set it to. Oh, there we go. Whew. Can't hold it down. It jumps really fast. There we go. 42. We'll just set it at 42 for now. And the amps, I don't know, I guess we're just going to go all the way up. I don't have any reason to limit it. Hold it. That's right. There we are at 10 amps. So now we just got to hook this into our battery. I'm going to install it under this seat because it gets really old trying to lift this flatbed bed with it full of stuff all the time to look at the battery and inspect the voltage and everything else. So it'll be nice to have something under the seat here that I can open and look at. So I guess that's what's next. We'll do that and hook up the battery. All right, here goes. We're gonna hook in the sure how I want to do this. So we're gonna hook in the battery now. I'm charging at 60 watts right now, which is decent, seeing as the sun's way down there, so pretty low. We could roll it out and see if we get a little more. Hold it out a little further, but I couldn't change the angle much, so we're probably going to be 60 watts and lower to the rest of the day. We'll see what we do at noon tomorrow. All right, we got the front rack on. Not the prettiest looking thing, but it's going to be a functional cart, that's for sure. First thing in the morning, we'll see how she does. Sun's pretty low. We're just at 22 watts right now. So we'll see what we get midday and how well one panel does most of the day. We'll probably put the second panel up. All right, I made some splicers for some parallel splicers, and we're charging at 150 watts right now. We're just gonna switch these wires real quick, plug them together, parallel them down, since I think the voltage on this is I can't series these panels, and which is the easy way to plug two panels together. So we got to make some parallel splicers, splice them together in parallel, hook them down into this, and just plug them back into the wires I got. So but we're going to do that real quick. All right, got them spliced in parallel together, and there we are, 301 watts. It's pretty good. Most of my chargers I've built barely exceed 300 watts as it is. So basically putting a charger on here that charges with the sun at that rate is, well, that's pretty good in my opinion. So the sun's not even all the way up, and we're still coming out of winter in what is it, February now. So come summertime, we should definitely get closer to that 600 mark. We're gonna record our trip and see how well it works. All right, we're about 6-7 miles or so out, and we are still at, the battery's at 50%. 37 volts is 50% on this pack, nominal. All right. Still barely under 50%. Charging at a whopping 14 watts because sun's almost down, so that was it.